Hi there. Thank you so much for joining me in this home shopping journey. One of the extra steps we have to take in this environment is the coronavirus property entry and advisory declaration that we're going to go over right now. You'll hear me calling it the PEADV form or the Pead form. And as I mentioned, this is what it stands for. The form is required every time we enter a property, so an individual form needs to be submitted to each of the listings. These forms are usually required about at least 24 hours in advance, or sometimes they'll require them along with your pre-approval letter and proof of funds. In this current environment, because of the pandemic, they want to limit the amount of window shoppers entering the property, so sellers are only allowing people who are pre-approved and who actually have the funds to purchase the property. So we're going to go over the form real quick. This is where the address would go. Sometimes I will leave that blank because if we have plenty or multiple properties to see, I'll be using the same form but changing the property address on here. Okay, there are 10 sections worth of advisories. The first one is the risk of exposure, letting you know that COVID is a worldwide pandemic that can be contracted. Let me see. Number 2, government orders. Right now, orders are starting to lift a little bit here in Southern California. So there are still some light stay-at-home orders as well as wearing masks and all that. We'll inside a little bit. This is our advisory, visitor advisory. Visitors are advised that if you engage in any activities in violation of any COVID-19 directives, you're acting against the advice of broker. Brokers and agents will comply with COVID-19 directives, notwithstanding any party's instructions, and will obey all fair housing laws while pursuing safe COVID-19 practices. Okay. So the purpose of the entry is going to be to view or inspect the property that we are interested in making a purchase on. Doesn't mean we have to make a purchase, but we're interested in. Okay, and here are the rules. We have to follow federal, state, and local laws. Exercise care to protect ourselves, assessing our own risks by considering your age, any underlying health conditions, and recent travel, potential exposure to COVID-19, doctor's recommendations, local, state, and federal recommendations. You agree and understand that it is your responsibility to evaluate the risks and protect yourself. Okay, so don't feel compelled to come to a showing if you're feeling sick, if your health is questionable. Don't be embarrassed. We can always reschedule, or we can do a virtual tour of the property, meaning I could go with a camera and record or FaceTime you while I'm there. Washing your hands with soap and water, or using hand sanitizer immediately upon entry and before entering or inspecting the property. Remember, don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth. Wear a protective face covering, meaning a mask. Practice social distancing. Make sure we keep 6 feet apart in case there's other people. Do not gather in groups. Avoid touching knobs, faucets, toilets, toilet handles, switches, like garage door openers, handles and pulls, alarm system controls, fan pulls, remotes, thermostat, switch boxes, gate latches, window locks, and sashes, pool coverings, counters, door, pretty much try not to touch surfaces. If you feel you need to, be prepared to wear gloves. Okay, and this is your acknowledgement that you're going to be abiding by these showing rules, and that you understand that COVID is a worldwide spread disease, and you're not experiencing any fevers, signs of respiratory illness, such as a cough, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, or any other COVID-19 symptoms. All right, we want to keep everybody safe and sound. And we're all going to initial here. Typically, most brokers and sellers have been limiting the amount of visitors to 3, meaning the agent plus 2 guests. They highly discourage that children be present, but if we need to, there is a clause here that accompanying minors, adult signers acknowledge and agree that all property entrance rules, signers' acknowledgements, and signer representations apply equally to any accompanying minors due as a to the signer. The signer is responsible for their care, safety, and conduct in the property. So we would just list their names and their ages here. And then down here, I'll list the buyers, myself, license number, and then I'll initial there, and then the seller will approve our visit by initialing here. And that's all. You'll get used to signing these. The rules are, again, right here. And just remember that the quicker you sign them, the quicker I can send them over to the listing agent, and the quicker they can respond and approve our showing. All right, thank you so much.